How's it going, movie fans? My name is Jonathan. I'm a man of movies, and today we're going to get into my top 10 movie moments that made me go wow. This is another one of those YouTube tag events that's going around in the little film review community that I'm in, and I was tagged by Joe from Kiki Hijinks. Man, the dude is awesome. I've created such a great friendship with him, and we talk about every single day, maybe a couple hours on end. We laugh, we get into deep philosophical conversations at times. Sometimes we get into like poop humor, but we just really get into it. We've become really good pals, us and a group of other people, and he's such a great content creator. I am so inspired by him, especially with that Tom and Jerry video he did not too long ago. It made me want to just up my game. So with that being said, let's get right into my top 10 list. Coming in at number 10. At number 10 for me comes from Back to the Future. Back to the Future is one of the movies that I absolutely adore. It's one of my favorite films of all time. In the moment toward the end of the film where they're in that clock tower race against time, and Doc has to try to like connect the stuff, and Marty's zooming past with the DeLorean, and are they gonna make it? The score, the adrenaline, everything put together, the lightning strikes, he makes it back to, oh my. Coming in at number 9, it's The Godfather. The Godfather is a film I saw only a couple years ago. And that moment at the very end of the film where we get that shot of Michael Corleone in his office with the people around him respecting him as the Godfather, and we get the shot of his wife kind of like understanding what's going on, but she doesn't want to believe it. It made me instantly love the character of Michael Corleone. Number 8 for me is Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, and there are way too many moments in this movie that I could choose from. I'm not going to list them just in case some other people just want to mention them, but for me, it has to be the moment when they're up at the Black Gate and Sauron begins to talk to Aragorn. And you see in Gandalf's expression that he's a bit afraid of what Sauron is teasing him with. And at that moment, we get Aragorn turning around to them and saying, "For Frodo," as he lunges toward the Black Gate. And who are the first two to follow him into battle? It's not Gandalf the White Wizard. It's not Legolas. It's Merry and Pippin. And every time I see that scene, it gives me goosebumps. Number 7 for me is a movie that a good friend of mine, Sean from Lost in the Reel, said it is one of his favorite films of all time. He's told me that he wished this movie actually won the Oscar, and I agree with you. I agree with you, Sean. It should have, because La La Land is amazing. I'm just joking. Sean actually doesn't like the movie too much. I adore it. And the moment for me is the very beginning in the traffic jam, and we get into the sequence of Another Day of Sun. I just love that scene for its cinematography, its dance choreography, the music, how original it is, and getting the grand scape of La La Land and what this movie is going to be about. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story comes in at number 6, and I remember watching this in theaters with my friend Danny. Shout out to my pal Danny. Been friends for 10 years, more than 10 years, and we love movies together. I remember watching this with him, thinking the movie itself wasn't going to be too good, and it was really good. But the moment where Vader is in that hallway wrecking fools, wow! Me and him were like, oh my god! I don't remember how the theater was, honestly, because both of us were completely shocked. We were fanboying the hell out. That scene was awesome. Coming in at number 5 is a newer entry, but still a very powerful one. 1917 has one of the best moments in cinema history, in my opinion. And it made my list because it is amazing and how impactful it is after we go through this journey for, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we get to the scene at the trench where he needs to get to the colonel to tell him the news that he needs to call off the invasion, and they're not letting him through. So what does he have to do? What is the only thing that he can do? He needs to jump over the trench where the enemies can see him and needs to run like hell to the other side so he can tell this colonel to not let anybody through. And as he's running, the next wave comes. Wow. The score is what absolutely makes this for me. Number 4 for me is Toy Story 3. It is that moment when they're in the incinerator and they're all holding hands, thinking they're all about to die. And at the very last second, the big claw comes out and it's the aliens who save them. Everything that it led up to is why this movie wowed me so much. I am such a fan of Toy Story, grown up with it. It is my favorite franchise of all time. The very opening day of Toy Story 3, my family and I went. We were the first in line to buy tickets. And after I saw the movie, I went back the same day at night because I needed to watch this movie again and needed to feel the same emotions and heartbreak that I felt during that incinerator scene. Yo, you know Endgame's gotta be on this list, bro. I'm sorry to be predictable. I was thinking about taking it out because how predictable would it be to have Infinity War or Endgame in my list? I'm not gonna take it out though because it was the very best cinema experience I ever had in my entire life. Endgame, opening day with my family and friends and my wife. The moment where the portals open up and Cap says Avengers Assemble for the very first time, my wife is living proof. I cried so hard. I ugly cried, I should say. I could not believe what I was seeing and I never thought I would ever see it. Runner-up for me is the original Halloween, and that may surprise some people, but I'll tell you why this scene wowed me. And it's the very beginning shot of the entire movie, of the point of view of Michael going through the house. When I was a kid, I had a friend when I used to live in an apartment complex that introduced me to horror. I don't remember his name. I can't even tell you what he looked like, but he introduced me to horror. And there was a day where he told me, let's watch Halloween. I had no idea who Michael Myers was. I was like 5 or 7 years old. So we watched the scene. And as he's going through the house, the point of view of the killer kills this girl, ends up being his sister, and we find out who is behind this mask. It's a little boy, just like I was. And I was so scared, it scarred me, that I didn't end up watching Halloween again until 2015. I give you all permission to joke about this in the comments. We are finally here, my friends. What is my number 1 wow movie moment of all time? It's actually kind of unconventional. It's not going to be Sixth Sense, or it's not going to be Jurassic Park. Sorry, Joe. It's not going to be a Lord of the Rings scene or a Star Wars movie. For me, it is a moment that wowed me when I was a kid, when I remember watching it, and still wows me when I watch it to this day. The very first Toy Story not only is one of, if not my favorite film of all time, has my favorite movie moment of all time. And it's when Buzz flies for the first time with Woody. And everything leading up to that is spectacular. It's emotional. I watch it to this day as a 24-year-old man. And when I see that scene, when they're plunging down and they think they're gonna die, and Buzz pops his wings out, and it is the purest form of Disney magic on film ever recorded, in my opinion. And I can't wait till I have kids and I get to show them the whole movie, but for them to experience that moment is gonna be amazing. But before you leave, I gotta get into my tags. I gotta tag 5 people to partake in this awesome top 10 video. Of course, this is for fun. If you can't or don't want to, don't feel pressured to. I had so much fun just thinking about these moments, so here's my list. Also, if you're not tagged, don't feel bad. I'm gonna tag different people than I tagged from my first tag video. So the more we get into this as a community, the more people I'm gonna be tagging in. Don't feel bad. All right, spiel over. My first tag is Poppa Jon. I know I said I wasn't gonna repeat a tag, but I gotta repeat Poppa Jon. The dude is so awesome in his analysis of all films. He talks about horror. He has his own horror channel talking about horror movies. He talks about superhero movies. He talks about monster movies. Right now, just like me, he's on the road to Spiral reviewing all the Saw films. So check that out. Poppa Jon, want to see what your list is. My second tag is Fever Dreamland Theater. Anthony, I have no idea how you look like because all your videos have videos, but that doesn't mean anything. You have a great channel. You go into these movies in depth, and are you from New York or from Boston? But that accent of yours, man, whenever I'm listening, it's like, man, this is like one of my bros just talking to me about movies. Love it, dude. I want to know what your list is. My third tag is the Gringo Scott production. Scott is so analytical in the way that he gets into film, and his channel is all about spreading positivity. It's all about finding meaning in life. He's someone that's been through the hardest times in life, has gotten out of those hard times, and because of film, is now here on YouTube creating content and uses the medium of film to teach a life lesson to you. My fourth tag is Popcorn Chat. She's awesome. I love her content. She just came out with this new video I really liked. It was the comparison between Call Me By Your Name, the book, and the film. And she goes into it so very well spoken and professional. Absolutely love it. Would love to know your list. And my fifth tag is somebody that has told me, and I've heard from, that she's not really gonna get into this type of thing anymore. She's gonna stick to reality show reacting. I feel you. I understand you. It's working, let me tell you. But I want to know your list, Becky, okay? FilmFreakBecky, go check out her channel. She is hilarious. She is funnier than me. She is funnier than the funniest people that I know. And her reactions are on point. I want to know your list if you want to make it. But those are just my thoughts. If you share the same moments that I do, comment down below. Let's talk about it. But like always, like this video, share this video with family and friends, and subscribe to my channel. Till next time, movie fans.